Hello, I am Stephanie D. Naj, but I prefer to be called Najma, and I don't have a name sign. So I'm actually from Buffalo, New York. I grew up there for 11 years. Oh, and I suffered horrible racism. The city was divided into different categories, and while time went on, at the age of 15, I went to a residential school, and I felt like I didn't really fit in, but I really learned a lot, and you know, racism and things that happened occurred to me there really stuck with me. And I went to Gallaudet in 1995, and I realized there that people there are divided. So I didn't like what things were going on, so I left and I decided to work and I moved to Georgia. Oh, it's such a beautiful state. I love it there. So identities and cultures and everything started to stick with me. So I decided first to join an organization called Survive. And their goal is to increase equality and for deaf, black, lesbians, and people who are of different races. And also, there's another organization called ZANI. It's a hearing organization for Black lesbians, and I learned a lot from them actually. So, Survive focuses on a few other things and everything like sexism and different types of identities and cultures, and I learned a lot. And I felt that I was partially responsible, that I should have examined myself and things that I'm doing wrong and committing that I'm possibly oppressing other people. So everything that I learned from both organizations, I applied it to myself, and how can I apply it to the community? Because sometimes things, how can I find positive things? What is my responsibility? What is important? So I took a step back and I'm like, okay, so that word intersectionality is a very powerful word. I actually really appreciate it, and it's why I lie and why I walk and breathe that word, intersectionality. So the deaf community, some people are smart, poor, educated, and they don't know what intersectionality is. So homegrown people, or as the same as grassroots, means that deaf sometimes tend to look down on people maybe or powerless, and that they're probably not involved in the community. So how can I teach them, or how can they teach me and the community and my experience and everyone else's experience? How can we share it all together? So I went back to college in 2008, and I studied and majored in deaf studies and other people of other identities. So I wanted to know more. Oh, sorry, hold on, let me go back. So I went back to Gallaudet, and Gallaudet had improved since 1995, but I still felt like there were certain things that, like racism or sexism, were kind of just there, but no one really paid attention to it. So that had gotten worse. So, so I went to graduate school and I got a master's in. So I wanted to know people's stories, people's experiences, and I wanted to know that my education and what I learned, how I can pass that on to other people. So how what I learned, and even also the people that I oppress myself, because I'm black as well, and you know, sometimes we share the same oppression, or sometimes we do that to other people. So why am I oppressing? And I needed to analyze myself for that. So being deaf, maybe hard of hearing, deaf blind, maybe we do that. So now, in 2010 or so, another person named Delasha Singleton, we actually met up and we had a different experience, but we're both black. So we talked about our experiences and what is missing from the community. So we set up an organization called TAS, TAS. So before it used to be TAD, but then we decided to change it, and we analyzed it and discussed it more in the name change and how can we improve the community. So we focus on our skin color and equal access in college and language, and how can we partner with other profit organizations or groups, and how can we make our deaf community more accessible? So so mostly specifically deaf people, how can we make it accessible? So we didn't pick up on it right away, but we started working on something. And I do enjoy working in the community and being involved and intersectionality work and training professional interpreters, teachers, people who are so now people who work with deaf children in schools, new teachers who are with deaf children, maybe who are the skin color of brown and look for certain things. So how can I relate to them? How can I connect to them? So not just to look down on them, but why am I oppressing the deaf community? Maybe the residential school should be open to more people and have different perspectives. Maybe we should be more comfortable with each other. So thank you for watching my story, and that's it.